Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the NBC Game of the Week for 2023 reveal show. I do want to thank everybody that voted. As you can see right here, there are a total of 48 votes. So 48 people made their feelings known. I did not vote myself. I was abstained from doing any voting. So I wanted to let you all decide that, so that's what I did. And in just a second, I'll be revealing which season will be upcoming for the NBC Game of the Week. The way I've got it laid out here is these are the votes per year. They're not in the sequential order. They're the order that the votes were received. So in other words, the one season only got one vote. The winning season got 15 of the 48 votes, almost 33%. So as you can see, it was pretty close, actually. 3 seasons were actually really, really close, and 3 seasons maybe not so close. But that's what happens when you vote. Anything can happen. Hello, Tim. How you doing? And I want to try to let some people, I know RJL just finished his stream, we'll let some other people come in and catch this before I start revealing anything. And remind you, after the reveal, it will be game 2 of the Demolition League semifinal, as Houston will be facing Cleveland. Houston is up 1-0. It'll be Colin McHugh for the Astros against Danny Salazar of the Indians. And that will be coming up after the reveal show, as Houston stole game 1 of that semifinal in Cleveland. Let me get my computer out of here. It's kind of in the way there, isn't it? All right, let me put it down where I need it so I can see what's on the screen. I think my eyes aren't that great. Can everybody see the numbers here? Can everybody see this says 1, 4, 5, 10, 13, and 15? Because if you can't see that, then I may need to do something, adjust some lights or something. But hello, Yankees Bob. How you doing? But it should be 1, 4, 5, 10, 13, 15. Hopefully that's legible. Hopefully. All right. So as I said, there were 1 week worth of voting. There were 48 total votes, and for the 6 seasons. And the breakdown was like this, with of course, the winning season getting 15 votes. The season seemingly nobody cared about got 1 vote, and then other seasons along the line. There were 3 seasons that were really, really close, and it went back and forth as the voting started coming in. One season, stream not working, Beatles. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, hello, Beatles. How you doing? I hope it's working. Can everybody hear me okay? Oh, the numbers not showing up on the screen. Are they showing up on the screen for you, Tim? Can you see them? I mean, on my computer, it's a slight glare, but I can still read the numbers. But I'm hoping everybody else can. Maybe I should have made them. Probably should have made them bigger. But oh well. Okay, as long as they're readable, that's cool. All right. So here we go. Again, these are the 6 seasons. There were a total of 48 votes. I again want to thank everyone for voting for this. And I not only when you voted, I liked your vote so that you knew it was recorded. So you should have got the little heart notification saying that I recorded your vote. And not only did I keep track of the number of votes, I kept track of the names of the voting, who voted for what seasons, but I'm not going to show that. I'm going to respect everybody's privacy. I just did the numbers at this point, but just in case I needed somebody, or somebody wanted to, double check what they voted for and what I had them for, that's the reason why. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing, sir? All right, I'm assuming RJL will get here after he closes everything down on his stream, but we'll sally forth and go forward. All right, so again, 6 seasons. This is the winning season. We just don't know what season it is yet. We'll start with the one that got the fewest votes. In fact, it only got 1 vote out of 48. And that season, which is not going to be done, it only got one vote, is 2010. So 2010 was not of much of interest to anyone, so that is put off to the side, and that has been eliminated. And since only one person voted for it, the other 47 that voted probably are glad that 2010 is out of the way. All right, let's go to the next one. With 4 votes, coming in next to last place, with 4 votes, the season that will not be on the NBC Game of the Week will be 1983. So apparently maybe there's a fatigue of 80 seasons, because between myself and RJL, we've been doing a lot of 1980s seasons, so maybe there was a 1980s fatigue in there somewhere. I don't know, but 83 has been eliminated. So now the next season, which only got 5 votes, and that season is 1995. So 1995 has been eliminated, as it only received 5 votes, and that got rid of the 3 pretenders, and now we have 3 contenders. These 3 all got double digits in the voting. So what is that? 28, 38 of the 48 votes are with these 3 seasons. So without further ado, let's reveal the 3 that are left. Honorable mention with 10 votes, but will not be on the NBC Game of the Week, is 1966. Just didn't have quite enough votes. Early on, 66 got a lot of votes, but then the other votes started coming for other seasons, and 66 kind of fell off. So right now we're down to these 2 seasons remaining for the NBC Game of the Week. One had 13 votes and one had 15 votes. And I'm also going to do something with the one that didn't win, or something similar to the one that didn't win, and I'll talk about that after this is over. The one with 13 votes that is not the winner, that came close but came just a bit outside, as Bob Euchre would say, was, whoops, and I just dropped it off. How about that? I just flicked it under the table. Boy, that was a snafu if there ever was one. Let's get that back here. Let's put that back where it belongs. Sorry about that. That was not intentional. But anyway, with 13 votes, second place, silver medal, I guess you want to call it, is 2018. So 2018 is not there. The winner with 15 votes is 1975. So 1975 will be the NBC Game of the Week. Now, Brian, that's interesting, because I've had several people say that to reach younger people, we need to show more modern seasons. So I guess people have differing opinions one way or the other. So 1975. Now, my question in 1975 is, I have the 1975 season in 2 game engines. I have it in Replay Baseball, and I have it on Inside Pitch. The Inside Pitch version I have is PDF, which I've cut out and I've got all the teams for. Or I've got the regular carded version of Replay. So I guess what I could do is maybe do a mixture of both, kind of mix and match both game engines in this. I'm going to be using the PC Replay to keep track of the stats, wins and losses and things like that, so that other than Saturday, just like I did last year with Stratomatic, I'm going to use this one for Replay Baseball, because I'm going to be using Replay to play some of the games from 75, if not all of them. With RJL doing so much Inside Pitch, I'm kind of wondering if people maybe are getting Inside Pitched out, if that's possible. So I may stick to Replay, although the only downside with Replay is the results come off the chart, not off the cards. So while you can see the dice and the matrix for each team, you're kind of dependent on me to read the chart. So I'm leaning towards doing this in Replay Baseball, with maybe an occasional Inside Pitch thrown in there once in a while. But I'm leaning on Replay Baseball, and then of course Replay Baseball PC is going to keep track of the stats. Now, to get back to something that Tex Ags brought up and maybe some other people brought up. I thought about it when 2018 did not win because 2018 was pretty close. And sounds good with replay. Cool. All right. I think that's what I'm going to do because, like I said, Robert's RJL's got you covered in inside pitch. So I figured people might want to see different game engines. So what I thought about doing for my next two projects once I finish the Demolition League, because this Saturday thing is only going to take me on Saturday's game of the week, I got plenty of time to do something else. So what I did is another game that I like that I don't get to see on YouTube very often anymore is Payoff Pitch. And to coincide with people liking or wanting modern seasons, since people don't play modern seasons on YouTube anymore, everybody plays the old stuff. I just ordered the 2022 Payoff Pitch season set, and I will be doing a 2022 New York Yankees replay in Payoff Pitch to coincide with the 1975 game of the week. So you got your old stuff and you got your modern stuff. And I'm going to be using Fast Score to do the rest of the games in 2022. So I'm going to be doing a 2022 New York Yankees replay and Payoff Pitch season replay. I'm going to do a video of every first game of the series, play the other games of the series offline, and then play the other games in the season for the other teams on Fast Score. Now, to keep track of the stats for the Yankees, I'm going to be using Digital Diamond to input the stats because I don't have the 2022 season in Replay Baseball. In fact, it hasn't even come out yet. But why pay them $25 or whatever for that when I've already got Digital Diamond? I can do it for nothing. So, if you know me, you know I'm on the cheap. So, Payoff Pitch, rather, a great deal. 2022 season, you get all the cards. I believe it was 40. I want to say it was like $43 or something. With shipping, it was 51, I think, or something like it was. Or was it 46? It was like a little over $50. But you get all the cards, and they're the best quality cards in the business. So, and I do like the game. You get all the left-right splits for the position players. You don't get them for the pitchers, but you get them for the position players. And again, you get carded for every team. If players had multiple teams, you get them on both teams. You don't have to do like inside pitch and put somebody out of uniform or whatever. So that's what I have planned for 2023. It is the 1975 NBC Game of the Week. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be I think this is going to be the second Saturday in April when this starts. I have to coincide with what the 1975 season did in real life when they started. And I'm not sure, I think they started on a Monday or something. So I've got to figure out what the first Saturday was. The dates aren't going to match up with 2023, but I'm going to try to get it kind of close. And 2022, of course, they were delayed because of labor situation. So I'll start that. I'm going to try to start that a little earlier so I can get caught up and try to keep pace with the season. One thing with 2022, I can't believe I'm even saying I'm doing this. Is probably Beatles is probably telling me it's sacrilege. But for 2022, when I do the Payoff Pitch replay with the Yankees, I'm using all the modern stuff. I'm using the 3-pitcher limit. I'm using ghost runners. I'm using 7-inning doubleheaders. So I'm going to play it just like they play it in 2022. And if I can catch some younger people interested, maybe get them in the hobby, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but I just think that so many people are playing older stuff that I think it's almost a novelty to play the modern. So at least on the cards and dice, I see people play modern on the computer, but maybe on cards and dice, it's different. There's really not any way to show the charts because there's not enough room on the table. So you just kind of have to take my word for it. They did 9-inning doubleheaders last year. I thought it was 70, or was that the strike season? Was that the COVID season they did that? Mike, was that 7-inning? Was that just that one season when it was COVID? Because for some reason I'm thinking it was a 7 inning double headers, but maybe not. All right, I'll have to. I'll look it up. I'll look it up on Baseball Reference or something just to double check it. But whatever they do, whether it's the ghost runner or the 3-man, reliever got to pitch the 3 batter kind of thing or whatever. If I had a choice, which one would I have voted for? Well, it would have been between these 2 seasons right here. I had reasons for both, but probably 1975. So COVID was the only year of the 70. Okay, so scratch the 7 inning doubleheader. We'll be full 9 inning doubleheaders if there are doubleheaders. So we'll take care of that. But I've already received the file for Fast Score. Just purchased that today, and I've already got the file emailed to me, so I just got to print out the papers. But I'll be all ready to go for that. But it is going to be a New York Yankees 2022 replay and payoff pitch season replay. I thought about doing the Mets, but if you do the Mets, then you're going to have to play the Nationals and the Marlins for a lot of games, and I really don't want to go through that. Plus, I did the Nationals 2019 inside pitch, so I kind of wanted to switch over to the American League. And I thought about doing the Angels just for Ohtani, but the Angels were pretty bad, so I wanted to pick a good team. A lot of times when I do these replays, I pick mediocre teams. I decided for once to try to do a good team. So I'm going to do the Yankees, see if I can get them to 100 wins. I think they had 99. I'll see if I can get them to 100 wins, see how many home runs Judge hits, and so forth, and see if they can beat out their rivals. I thought about doing Toronto as well because I really like Toronto. They got a lot of young players, but I just thought the Yankees were the team. I mean, if you're going to present a modern season for younger people, I felt like you needed to do, for lack of a better term, America's team. I mean, the Yankees are the most popular team. Love them or hate them, they're the most popular team in baseball, just like the Cowboys are in football. They're very polarizing. You either like them or you don't. Although I'm maybe the exception to the rule. I kind of like them, but I don't really care for them at the same time. So I'm good either way. First Saturday of 75 season is April 12th. So, yeah, April 15th. I think that sounds about right, Tim. April 15th. Oh, I'm going to play, Brian B., I'm going to play all 162. There won't be a video on all of them for sure. The videos are going to be the first of each series. So, if it's like the first, I think they play Boston for 3 games. So I'll do 1 video on opening day. I'll play 2 games offline. And then I believe they play Toronto for 4. So I'll do 1 video, probably the first game against Toronto, and then play the other ones offline, all the while doing Fast Score for every game. So I'll do 3 days worth of Fast Score, in between videos and so forth. So yeah, April 15th sounds like a good day to do the 1975 opener on Saturday. I got to go through now and pick out the schedule. I want to make sure every team is shown at least once. Oh yeah, definitely. I would just the trouble of setting up and everything like that. I would play 1 game on video, and then probably the next next day play 2 games offline, something like that. Yes, Tex. The one I play on video for the game of the week will be manually done in Replay PC, so that those stats from that thing are calculated into the season replay, just like I did with Stratomatic last year. When I did 1986, I did it with Stratomatic, same way. Let's see. And I'll when the first games of each of these comes up, I will do a complete intro and all that to kind of set it up so that you can see what I'm doing, what the rules are, how I'm going to play it, what I'm going to do, or what my thoughts are on scheduling videos and so forth. Now, the game of the week is always going to be live stream on Saturday, probably around noon Eastern or 1 Eastern, something like that, to kind of simulate what happened on Saturday afternoons when we were kids. I think it came on around 2 Eastern, but I may bump it up to about 1 Eastern because I want to get Saturdays a day. I do honeydew lists, so I got to also do some responsibilities around here. So I kind of like do it at 12 to kind of play it, and that way it gives me a lot more of the afternoon to get my stuff done around the house. Now the Yankees ones I will most likely do. I will probably do opening day live, but a lot of them are going to be recorded, to be honest with you, and uploaded. Dwayne, I'm using Digital Diamond Baseball to input the Yankee stats that I play on Payoff Pitch, so I can get the full season stats for them after each game. The other games, I'm not keeping stats on those teams. I'm just doing wins and losses via Fast Score, just like RJL does. But I am keeping track of all the Yankee stats, and I'm using Digital Diamond Baseball for that because I've got that all set up on Digital Diamond ready to go. And I've also got the 2022 season in Action PC, so I can use that for the transactions, so I know who's on the roster and so forth. I believe that's okay, Tex. You can catch them later. That's quite all right. I believe. Well, I forgot. I believe the opening day in 2022. I believe the rosters were 28 players to start the season, and then I think it went down after that. Robert, okay, you were late. We will forgive you. Let me do a recap for Robert while we are waiting. So, Robert, let me set it back up for you. There were 48 total votes. The numerals of the number of votes per season were as follows, as I've got them listed up here. With one vote was 2010, so that was eliminated. 4 votes came in for 1983, so that was eliminated. 5 votes came in for 1995, that was eliminated. 10 votes came in for 1966, that was eliminated. And 13 came in for 2018, so the winner with 15 votes is 1975. But what I also was talking about is, since a lot of people voted for 2018, which tells me some people want to see more modern things, and I kind of in the same way, because so many people that are streaming the older stuff. I'm not going to do 2018. I've already purchased, and I'm waiting for it to get here, the 2022 Payoff Pitch season. I'm going to do a New York Yankees replay in Payoff Pitch. And I'm using Fast Score to do the other games, and I'm using Digital Diamond to keep track of the Yankee stats. First game in the 75 game of the week will be April 15th, 2023. It's the first. It's the closest to the actual game of first Saturday in 1975 season, which I believe was like the 12th or something. So April 15th of this year, which I believe is probably 3 weeks from tomorrow. I'm trying to get my calculator straight. Is it 3 weeks from tomorrow? Maybe 4 weeks from tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't have the thing in here. Let's see. Now, RJL, you may not have caught this, but in 1975, I've got 1975 in 2 game engines. I've got it in Replay Baseball, Cards and Dice, and I've got it in Inside Pitch PDF, which I have printed out. But several people have asked me to do this in Replay Baseball, so I'm going to pretty much do this in Replay Baseball. I may do an Inside Pitch game once in a while, but for the most part, I'm going to be doing Replay Baseball for the 1975 season, and also using Replay PC to simulate the other games in the season. Just to get a different game engines out there, I'm going to do Replay Baseball for this one and Payoff Pitch for the New York Yankees 2022 replay. I mean, we've had Strat covered quite a bit, and of course you're all over Inside Pitch, so I thought maybe showing some different games would be beneficial. So anyway, that's the way the voting. Hello, Steeler fan, how are you? That's the way the voting went. Now, I can transition hopefully into Game 2 of the semifinals. I can't say ALCS or NLCS because it's a mixture, but it is the semifinals. Houston leads the series 1-0. And the starting pitchers for Game 2 for each team. For the Cleveland Indians, it will be Danny Salazar. He was 14-10 with a 3.45 ERA on the 15 season. Colin McHugh gets the start for the Astros. He was 19-7 with a 3.89 ERA. Game 3, I believe it's going to be Carrasco for Cleveland, and it's going to be McCullers for the Astros in Game 3, which will be in Houston. All right, so let me get my other stuff here back in line, my little things here to hold the rosters and so forth. I do have the dice, which are Indians colors, or Cleveland colors, red and white and blue. And let me get my other stuff here straight. My injury report for both starters. Let's see what their injury check is for both starters. First for McHugh, he's a 0, so he cannot be hurt. Cleveland, Salazar is a 1. So a 6-12 means that Salazar is subject to injury. There is no injury. Did you choose it? I have not, RJ. I've not gone through the schedule yet to see because I don't know, who it is. Now, tradition, I like to play Cincinnati, but what I might do is I might play opening day 1975 with Cincinnati, or I might make it the first Saturday. I don't know. What I do want to do is make sure every team shows up at least once, and then when you get further in the season, kind of dictate it by who played on a Saturday afternoon or by the standings, the replay standings. So let's see here. St. Louis, Philly, Oakland, Texas. Two very good matchups. I know Texas, I believe, came in third that season, so they were a pretty decent team. Two good choices, actually. Yes, Brian B. It's for 75. It is strictly like it was in 75. It's the winner of the NL East playing the winner of the NL West, and same with the AL. There's no wild card, no nothing. Now in 2022. Even if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, then I'll go by whatever fast score dictates, and I'll do the playoffs that way, the way they do it in 2022 with the extra wild cards and so forth. So, we are ready to go. Danny Salazar. And let me see, do I need my little runners? I think I need my little runners. I think that's one thing I was missing. Okay, got my little base runners here so I can put them on here. Stratomac just does not do well on the board that RGL uses for inside pitch. Stratomac doesn't do well in that. I found Stratomac does better on this kind of board. All right, so Danny Salazar will be facing Jose Altuve. Well, Tom Seaver was a Cy Young Award winner, RJL, so certainly any Tom Seaver game would be a good one, that's for sure. Where's my score sheet? Down here. Can't go without my score sheet. I do have the score sheet right here, so I'll be keeping score as we go along. There you see your starting lineups, your benches, and your bullpens. And again, Houston leads at 1-0, so this is a must game for Cleveland. They do not want to go back to Houston down 2-0. Now let's see. Let me make sure before I get started that everything is copacetic. Looks like it is. Okay. And RJL, if you could also remove 2022, if you don't mind, that would be awesome as well. I guess you could keep it on there because I'm going to be doing payoff pitch, I'm going to be doing a season replay, not a game of the week kind of thing. So I'd just be doing the Yankees, where 2022 you could do the whole, everybody. So I guess 2022 is not a big deal, but 75, if you don't mind, 75 is the one we would like to remove from there. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Salazar to Altuve, 5-3. And that's a fly ball, left field X. Left fielder for the Cleveland Indians is Michael Brantley. He's a 2. 2 and that is I know it's hard to see there, but that is a 9. That is a 9. My blue thing there is not going. Actually, it's a 19. There's a 1 there. But I need the other blue dot. Let me get the better blue 20. That was a 19. That was a 19, so it's good play. I just need a better blue die, that's all. One down as Altuve flies to Brantley. One away, and that's going to bring up George Springer. And RJL, if the Mets beat Seattle and win that series and go to the finals, I have decided if you're up for it, I will let you make the lineups for all the Met games. If you would like. It's up to you. If you don't want to, I'll do it myself. But if you want, I will be, since you're a Met fan, I will give you that prerogative. All right, 210 for Springer is to strike him out. 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up the designated hitter, Marwin Gonzalez. Salazar, 5-6 against the switch hitter batting left, and that is a strikeout again. So 1-2-3 inning for Danny Salazar. The end of half an inning to play. It's Houston 0 and Cleveland coming to bat. And Colin McHugh is your pitcher for the Astros. And back in the lineup after getting the first game off due to the lefty is Michael Bourne. Michael Bourne will lead things off. And we get a 5-7 for McHugh against the lefty. That is a strikeout. So McHugh strikes out Bourne. Quickly 1 away for Jason Kipnis. And the Indians were stifled by Keuchel in Game 1. They're looking to try to get a little bit better here in Game 2. 1-7 for Kipnis against the righty. Another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Colin McHugh. 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring up Carlos Santana, the first baseman. As the Indians trying to get the bats going here. That's a 4-3. Switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball right field. Right fielder is Springer. He's a 2. So again, this is advanced, not super advanced. So a 2 and a 19. That one clearly is a 19, so it's a good play. And the inning is over. So each pitcher, 1, 2, 3. And RJL was talking about a low-scoring game in his game today or tonight. And so far, this is starting out that way. Of course, it's only 1 inning. We got a long ways to go. Due up for the Astros will be Carlos Correa, followed by Valbuena and Chris Carter. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to short, 1 away. So Lindor took care of that, no problem, and one shortstop retires the other. Here's the third baseman, Luis Valbuena. Not for Stratomatic, I don't. It just doesn't look right. Cards don't fit right because they're horizontal, not vertical. 3-7. 3-7 for Valbuena is a walk. We got our first base runner, and it is Luis Valbuena with a walk. He's an E-stealer, though. He will not be held. So the plus signs on those ground balls are not going to come into play since he's not being held. And first baseman Chris Carter, he got the game off in Game 1. He's out there for Game 2. We get a 6-10. Salazar's injuries chances is 6-12, so he's okay. 6-10's a strikeout. So he's A-okay with that. His third strikeout of the game as Chris Carter goes down swinging. And that's going to bring up a very young Preston Tucker, left fielder. 5-7, and that's a 1-5 single. 6-20 lines it to first. That's an 11, so it's a line drive caught by Santana, and the inning is over. So the Astros come away empty the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, no score from Cleveland. And due up, it'll be Francisco Lindor against Colin McHugh. I'm sorry, it'll be Brantley, rather. Brantley with Lindor on deck and Chisenhall in the hole. Yes, Texags. I'm going to use I'm going to use dice, but I'm going to use the fast action cards for base runner advancement. 3-7, and Brantley 3-7 fly to center, one away. One down. Brantley is retired. And it's going to send up Francisco Lindor. And again, when I do the first game of that, I'll go through all the parameters, what I'm going to use, the rules, the way I'm going to play it, so that everybody knows up front before I start. That way I can be consistent all the way through. 3-4 for Francisco Lindor against Colin McHugh. It's ground ball to second, 2 down. So McHugh is having no problems with Cleveland so far. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Lonnie Chisenhall. He sat the first game against the lefty, but he's back out there against the righty. 1-4, and that's a pop out to short. Would be a ballpark check on a super advance, but in advance, simply a pop to short. Handled by Correa, and the inning's over. So 2 innings in the books, and nothing's been decided. We're no score here in Cleveland. And again, this is virtually a must-win situation for Cleveland. 5-game series, you do not want to go down 2-0 and then go on the road. Although really, in this, road and home don't really make much difference, just the last at bat. That's about the only thing that matters. Coming up for the Astros will be catcher Jason Castro. He sat the first game, and Conger was the catcher. And now Jason Castro will step in against Salazar, 3-10, and he just missed a chance for a home run, but that's going to be a strikeout. Yet another strikeout for Salazar. That is 4 for Mr. Salazar. 1 away, and it's going to bring up center fielder Carlos Gomez. He was an acquisition midseason from Milwaukee. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Josh Hader may have been part of that trade. I don't know for sure, but I know Carlos Gomez came over from Milwaukee. 3-3, and that is a ground ball to short, 2 down. So 2 down, and we go back to the top of the order for Jose Altuve, who unfortunately was injured in the World Baseball Classic. So he'll miss some time in this upcoming season. I did not know about Willis Reed passing. The first time I've heard about that. 2-6, and 2-6 is a ground ball to short to end the inning. So pitchers are having their way early in this one. Salazar and McHugh matching each other pitch for pitch. To the bottom of the third, no score. And that's going to send us to Jose Ramirez. He was not as prolific in 2015 as he is now. As a young player, he only hit .219 and 315 at-bats with 6 home runs. So he had not come into his own yet, which is why I've got him way down here at 7th, in case you're curious. 5-3 switch hitter against McHugh. That's a single to center field. First hit of the game for the Indians. And it is Jose Ramirez. Ramirez is a B stealer, so he will have to be held. Castro's in there for the Astros, so it's a -1 arm, so they can't run like crazy like they did against Conger. So with that in mind, Ramirez will stay put. Yan Gomes is the catcher, but he will be held, obviously. Cue to Gomes, 3-6. That's a ground ball, shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. So, boy, just when you think you're going to get something going, he hits into a 6-4-3 double play. Maybe I should have done a hit and run. Maybe I should have bunted. He's a terrible bunter, though, so darned if you do, darned if you don't, I guess. All right, next up is, okay, Hader was in that trade. I thought he was. And Mike Fiers, too, yep. Actually, Mike Fiers is going to be the Game 4 starter for the Astros in this series, if it goes to 4 games. Because Game 3 is going to be McCullers, Game 4 will be Fiers, and if it goes to Game 5, then we're back to the Game 1 starters, which would be Keuchel against Kluber. But in this one, it's going to be Salazar today for the Indians, and then they're going to have Carrasco in Game 3, and then Trevor Bauer would be Game 4. 3-4 for Rayburn, fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for either side. Zip, zip, zip across the board. We go to the fourth. And leading off for the Astros will be George Springer. Heart of the order, Springer, Gonzalez, and Correa due up against Salazar. 3-6. That's a fly to left, one away. Salazar just dealing, along with McHugh. Neither one of them wants to flinch. Here's Gonzalez. Struck out his first chance. 2-6, and he's going to strike out again. So neither offense can get going. If you came for offense, you might be in the wrong game. So here is Carlos Correa. Grounded to short his first trip up. 5-6 against the right-hander, and that's a strikeout. So Carrasco whipping the strikeouts out there. That is strikeout number 6 in 4 innings. And he is solidly getting it done. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score. And leading things off for Cleveland will be Michael Bourne, top of the order, against McHugh. And Bourne struck out his first chance. 2-12 for Bourne. He's going to ground it to short, one away to start the fourth. And that'll bring up Jason Kipnis. He also struck out his first chance. In the Demolition League, Kipnis was near the league leaders in hitting. 4-6 against the lefty for McHugh. 1-19's a single. That's a 16. Base hit, Jason Kipnis. Second Cleveland hit of the game. Kipnis is a B stealer. Now, with one out, do you try anything? You do have Carlos Santana. He's being held, so a hit and run would be a C if you wanted to try a hit and run. To steal, Kipnis is a B, which is a 13. Being held drops him to a 10. Castro's -1 would be a 9. 1-9, 45% chance, not a good option. Could do the hit and run. We're going to try a hit and run. And since the runner's being held, that bumps the hit and run grade up to a C. So we go here to our advanced strategy chart for hit and runs, which is right here. And we're looking in the C column, whether we do 2 through 7 or 8 through 12. It's going to be in one of these two columns. So we'll see what happens, rolling 2 D6s. And we get a 7. All right, he's a C, hit and run with a 7. Batter misses pitch, roll 20-sided die for steal results. Okay, so he missed the pitch, and now he's going to try to steal. He's a 1-9. 19, he get caught stealing. So try to be a little bit aggressive, and Kipnis gets caught stealing as Correa puts on the tag for out number 2. Now Santana's in there with 2 outs and the bases cleared. That's what you get for trying to be aggressive sometimes. 3-8 for Santana. He's going to ground it back to McHugh to end the inning. So still no flinching. 4 innings in the books, no score on either side. Go to the 5th, and both pitchers have a 6 for their fatigue, so they're still good for a couple of innings, particularly with how they're pitching. Makes them even more lively because they're not giving up anything. Valbuena, Carter, and Tucker due up. Valbuena 2-11, and that's a 1-14 home run chance. That's a 9. It is gone. It is long, and it is gone. Valbuena sends one over the right field wall, and the Astros not only break up the no-hitter, but they break up the shutout here in the start the 5th. It is Valbuena going deep on a 2-11. It's a ballpark home run check in super advanced, but in advanced, it's just a straight home run check, 1-14. That's a 9. It is gone. So Valbuena puts the Astros in the lead 1-0. And now the Cleveland fans get a little restless. Chris Carter back out. Carter struck out his first chance. It's a 3-9, and that's a strikeout. So Salazar back on track with that, hoping to one run he allows is not going to be a killer. He's got to get some run support. Here's Preston Tucker. 3-3 for Tucker. Fly to right, 2 down. And that's going to bring up Jason Castro, the number 8 hitter. Castro, the batter. Castro struck out his first chance. 4-6 against the lefty. Struck him out. Another strikeout for Salazar. That is 8 strikeouts for Salazar in 5 innings, but so far he's on the losing side of a 1-0 score, thanks to the home run from Valbuena. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Astros, as they're looking to take a 2-0 lead in the series. Coming up for the Indians, it'll be Brantley, Lindor, and Chisenhall. 1-6, and that is a 1-19 single, so it's base hit for Brantley. He leads off with a single now. He has a much better chance to steal. He is an A stealer, so they may be looking to run and get something started. He's an A stealer, starts as a 15, being held makes him a 13 as you take away 2. And then -1 from Castro makes him a 12. So 1-12, they're going to send him. And he's in there, and it's a 1, 2, or 3, so it's a possible throwing error on Castro. His T rating is only a 1, though. And it is a 1. How about that? How do you like that? Stolen base and a E2 throwing error. His error rating's a 1. We roll a 1. Go figure. And Brantley getting it started for the Tribe. And he's at third base with nobody out, so the infield is going to come in for Houston to try to cut off a cheap run, if possible. Lindor is your batter. 4-3, switch hitter batting left-handed. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. Right fielder is Springer. He is a 2. 2 and a 14. Let's see what happens on a 2 and a 14. For a right fielder, 2 and a 14 is a fly ball C. And a fly ball C says runners hold, so it was not deep enough. Not deep enough to send him, so 1 away. Lindor couldn't get it done. But Chisenhall has a chance with 1 out. Infield is still in. 2-9 for Chisenhall. Foul out to first, so that's not going to help either. No advancement there. Now it's 2 outs, and the infield goes back to normal. And it's up to Jose Ramirez to get it done for the Tribe, or they will blow a golden opportunity. And Danny Salazar will be the sickest guy in the stadium. 6-5, switch hitter batting left. 6-5 is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. Boy, Colin McHugh took care of business. Did everything himself after Castro threw the ball away. He said, I'm taking care of this myself. So he picks up his teammate and keeps the Tribe off the board. It's still 1-0. As we go to the 6th, and the 6th is the fatigue inning for both pitchers. So we have to keep an eye on that, although both, like I said, both are pitching very well. So Gomez, the center fielder, will lead off, number 9 hitter for the Astros. To 1-5, and that's a solid single for Carlos Gomez. There's a clutch there, but that's super advanced. Plus, the super advanced situation wouldn't even be in play if it was. So base hit. It's only the second hit of the game for the Astros. Gomez is an A stealer. Gomes is a -1 arm, so we're in the same situation. It'd be a 1-12. And you know what? They're going to send him 1-12. At 16, he got thrown out. So try to be aggressive, and sometimes you get over-aggressive, I guess. But he's out of there. As Kipnis put on the tag. And now Altuve will have to bat with the bases cleared. And 1 out. Altuve flew to left in the first, grounded to short in the third. 5-5 against a righty. He's going to strike out. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good for out number 2. So Altuve whiffs. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, comes George Springer. Springer struck out in the first, flew to left in the fourth. 6-8. 6-8. Another strikeout for Salazar. Boy, he's just ringing them up. I believe that's 10 now. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's 10 strikeouts for Salazar in 6 innings. But, again, he's on the losing side of a 1-0 score. But he does have 10 strikeouts, and he's only given up 2 hits in the 6 innings. But not getting the run support he needs, at least not yet. So coming up for Cleveland, the bottom of the 6th, it'll be the bottom portion of the order. Gomes, Rayburn, and Bourne. Not a whole lot on the bench for either side, to be quite honest with you. They're kind of, to borrow a term from RJL, they're kind of meh. So they'll probably stick with the starters unless a matchup just looks too good to pass up. Gomes, 2-7, struck him out, 1 away. So Gomes had a rough day, hit into a double play in the 3rd and strikes out here in the 6th. So can't get much worse than that. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Rayburn, the right fielder. 6-11, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2-E7, but he's a 2 as a pitcher. 2 and a 1. That might be an infield hit. Pitcher, a 2 and a 1 is a single. So base hit. Base hit for Ryan Rayburn. Little infield job that McHugh can't handle. Rayburn and Easteeler will not be held, not thinking about going anywhere. And Michael Bourne back out. See what he can do. Bourne struck out and grounded to short, 0 for 2. 6-8 against the lefty. That's a walk. So all of a sudden, first time with 2 base runners as the Tribe trying to mount a rally. 1 out and 2 on for Jason Kipnis, a very dangerous Jason Kipnis. He struck out in the first, singled in the 4th, but was caught stealing. That's a 6-6 against the lefty. That's a strikeout. Big strikeout from McHugh. 2 down. And now it's all up to Carlos Santana and his evil ways to try to get the Tribe on the board. Santana flew to right in the first, grounded to the pitcher in the 4th. 2-9, he's going to strike out. Boy, the strikeouts are raining heavy. This is not even 2023. This is 2015, but the strikeouts are in full force as he gets out of the inning. And the Tribe leave 2 on base. So we completed 6, and it's still 1-0. That home run from Valbuena has held up. Salazar, we're in the 7th. His fatigue is a 6, but he only gave up 1 single, so he's still good to go here in the 7th. He's going to be facing Gonzalez, Correa, and Valbuena. Indians just can't afford to go down 2-0. Especially as the number 1 seed. It looks embarrassing. 4-10 against the switch hitter batting left is a fly to right. Actually, a fly to center, rather. 1 away. As Bourne puts it away. Gonzalez retired, brings up Carlos Correa. Correa grounded to short and struck out in his 2 at-bats. 5-10, and that is a catcher X. Catcher X, Jan Gomes, is a 2. 2 and an 11 probably goes to an error check, and it does. Gomes' error rating is an E1. Now, you would think on the E1 he wouldn't make an error. But stranger things have happened. 8. E1 and an 8 is a ground ball C, so no problems. It's a 2-3 grounder. As Gomes comes out there, pounces out from behind the plate, throws to Santana to get Correa. Here's Valbuena. He's responsible for the only run of the game. His home run in the 5th is counted for everything. It's also walked, so he's pretty much been perfect. Salazar has to be careful. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. That is Kipnis, and Kipnis is a 3. 3 and a 16, I believe, is a good play. 3 and a 16 for a second baseman is a ground ball C, which is all you need. So the out is recorded, and they got by the tough Valbuena. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. And what seems to be a fast-moving ball game at 1-0. 7th inning stretch. It's going by so fast, I'm not even going to stretch. I'm going to keep going. Coming up for Cleveland, it'll be Brantley, Lindor, and Chisenhall. Brantley got everything started his last time up. He singled, stole second, went to third on a throwing error. All that with nobody out, but then McHugh got Lindor, Chisenhall, and Ramirez in order and prevented the run. So Brantley going to try to start it again. 5-6. He will not this time. It's a ground ball to first. An easy play for the first baseman, Carter, 1 away. So big out there from McHugh to get Brantley. And now that brings up Lindor. Lindor 0 for 2, grounded to second in the second, flew to right in the 5th. 2-9, and that is a strikeout. So yet another strikeout. And let's see, from McHugh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts from McHugh. 10 so far for Salazar. 17 strikeouts in the game. So much for putting bat on ball. Here's Chisenhall with 2 down. Chisenhall hadn't got the ball to the infield yet. He's popped to short and fouled to first. 5-5, and that's an in-home run chance, though, and a 1-4. He does have normal power. That is a 9, though. So it will be a double. Will not be a home run. It will be a double for Chisenhall. So the tying run is at second base with 2 down. He will not be held. And Jose Ramirez is your batter. Correct, Brian. I was going to, if 2018 won, then I was going to have to call it just the game of the week and not the NBC game of the week. But since it was 75, we can still use that moniker. McHugh, 6-7 against the switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-3 double, but that's a 7, so it's a fly to center. Put away out there by Gomez, and the inning is over. And yet another left on base for Cleveland. It's going to come back to bite them. Second runner in scoring position they have left. And it's, like I said, may come back to bite them. So we go to the 8th inning, still 1-0. Still 1-0. Salazar has only given up 1 single, so he is not tired yet, technically. Bullpen activity is going on for the Indians. They do have, let's see, who do they have? I believe they have double barrel action right and left. So let's take a look. They got Jeff Manship, a righty, and they have Nick Hagedorn, a lefty. So righty and lefty and double barrel action in the bullpen for the Indians, just in case. In case Salazar gets tired or in trouble or both. So coming up for the Astros will be Chris Carter to start the 8th. And Tim, if you're still here, as a Cleveland fan, I'll let you dictate whenever you want to pull Salazar. I will pull him. How about that? If you want me to keep going with Salazar, I'll keep going with Salazar, which I want to do at least for 1 at bat. Carter, 6-7, ground ball second base X. That's Kipnis. Kipnis is a 3. 3 and a 5. Let's see, that might be good enough. 3 and a 5 is a ground ball A. It certainly is good enough. 1 away. 1 down. Chris Carter is retired. Brings up Tucker. And I'm checking the chat. So, Tim, anytime you want to say pull him or put somebody else in, you let me know. And otherwise, I'm just going to keep Salazar rolling because he seems to be doing pretty well. Tucker, 5-7. That's a 1-5 single. Anything else he lines to first, that's a 7. It's a liner to first. Snagged by Santana, 2 down. So he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. Here comes Jason Castro, the batter. Castro, 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Hello, Mr. Vega. How are you? 2-9, and that's another strikeout. So, boy, Salazar is just ringing out strikeout number 11 in 8 innings. Only blemish is the home run by Valbuena. Otherwise, without that, he'd be pitching a one-hitter. Pitching a one-hitter shutout without that home run. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And again, McHugh. Steeler fan, if you want me to replace McHugh with somebody in the next few at batters, let me know. I've got bullpen activity up there. We've got Tony Sipp, the lefty, and we've got Mr. Will Harris, the right-hander. So they got both of those in the bullpen. Warming up, trying to get ready. Coming up for the Indians is Gomes, Rayburn, and Bourne. So, Tim, if you want me to pinch hit for Gomes or Rayburn, I will certainly be glad to do it. Perez, you got your bench guys here that anybody can use to choose from. You got Switcher, Almonte. Everybody else is right-handed. Urshela, Johnson, Perez, and Aviles. Gomes is 0 for 2. He's had not a good day. He's hit into a double play and he struck out. So I'm tempted to pinch hit for him right here. Oh yeah, definitely. I love double switches. You know, and there will be plenty of those in 1975 National League. You can guarantee that. The only bad part about playing the 2022, that's why I picked an American League team, because even in the National League, you're going to have DHs, and that just seems too weird to me. So I couldn't pull that one off. Couldn't pull the trigger. I had to do an American League team. So we're going to pull Yan Gomes and pinch hit for him with Abraham Almonte, a switch hitter. Almonte hit .264 on the season. He was a mid-acquisition trade, I believe, from San Diego. He will pinch hit, and then coming in to catch will be Roberto Perez. So Roberto Perez will take over as the catcher. Gomes is out of the game. But Abraham Almonte. So it will be Perez, the new catcher, in the top of the 9th. But right now it is Abraham Almonte trying to get it going. Five, 6 against the switch hitter. It's a ground ball to first, so one away. So that he failed in the pinch, did Almonte. Now you got Rayburn. Do you pinch hit for Rayburn? I don't know that you have anybody better on the bench. Rayburn's a 301 hitter, so I'm going to leave him in there. Although, according to Strat, he did much better against lefties. But I'll go with his average, 301. 3-7, and he strikes out. So another strikeout. 2 down, and we're back to the top of the order from Michael Bourne. So now the Astros have Gregerson, their closer, loosening in the bullpen. Everybody else has sat down. Manship still loosening for the Indians in their bullpen. And due up, it will be Michael Bourne. Do you pinch hit for Michael Bourne? That's the question. He hit .246, but I think that's still better than what's on the bench, because their bench, like I said, is a little meh. Don't have much on that bench. Vilas is .231, Urshela is .225, Johnson is .289. But then you also lose a very good center fielder, so I guess they'll stick with Bourne. See what he can do. He did walk his last time up. One 6 struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. Boy, McHugh finishes with a bang. He's going to go 8 shutout innings, and they will pull him for the 9th and go to their closer, Gregerson. And the Indians actually are going to go to, they're not going to go to Manship, they're going to go to Cody Allen, because it's no longer a safe situation. And he didn't pitch in game 1, and you got to have your closer out there. So Cody Allen will get the nod. He was 2-5 with a .299 ERA and 34 saves on the 15 season. So Cody Allen will be on, and the new catcher is Perez. So Cody Allen will take over for Salazar. Salazar deserved a much better fate. 8 innings pitched, just the 1 run and 2 hits. But one of those hits was the homer by Valbuena, and 11 strikeouts with only 1 walk. Boy, he did deserve a better fate for sure. All right, so Gomez is going to lead things off for the Astros, number 9 hitter for the Astros. Oh, definitely. Marisnik is definitely a defensive replacement. Rasmus is pretty bad defensively, actually. Well, he's rated as a 3, but Gomez is a 2. Tucker, actually, could come in for Tucker. Tucker's a 4. So we may bring in Marisnik to replace Tucker. Could do Rasmus to replace Tucker as well. We'll figure it out, see how it goes. Gomez, kind of don't want to take him out, though. He's a good defender. He's a 2 defender, so I don't want to miss him in center field. We're going to leave Gomez. Plus, he got a hit last time. One of the few people that did. All right, so top of the 9th we go. It'll be Gomez, Altuve, and Springer against the closer, Cody Allen, who's trying to keep the score 1-0. 4-6 against the right-hander, and that is yet another strikeout. So Gomez is out on strikes. 1 down, and that's going to bring up Altuve, top of the order. But I'm definitely taking Tucker out and putting Marisnik in. I just don't know about Rasmus, but I'll definitely do the other. Altuve, 3-4, and that is a ground ball to third, 2 down. Oops, over here. 2 down very quickly, and that brings up George Springer. Springer's a 2 in right field, so I'm not going to take him out for sure. He's going to stay in there. But getting the number 4 fielder Tucker out of there with the number 1 Marisnik makes a whole lot of sense. Here's Springer against Allen, 1-7, and all his hits in column 1, he found a strikeout. Yet another strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Now the question is, do you dare in this modern world, do you dare let McHugh complete the game? That's the question. How about Steele? Well, we're gonna take Tucker out for sure. Tucker is gonna leave, and Marisnik is gonna come in to play left field. So Marisnik is in left field. And let's get Marisnik in the game. He is a 1 in left field, whereas Preston Tucker was a 4. So that's an easy decision to make, to take him out. Bring in Gregerson. That's what I thought. So Marisnik is in to play left field in place of Tucker. And I think everybody else is pretty much the best defender they have out there. So we'll stick with that the rest of the way. And they will bring in their closer. Will the Astros. And that will be Luke Gregerson. Gregerson on the 15 season. 7-3, a 3.10 ERA, and 31 saves. He didn't really have that great of a demolition league. He managed to blow some saves, but still was decent. And I think just by sheer numbers, you need to bring him in. McHugh, a masterful 8 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits and no runs. I don't think he walked 1. And his total number of strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. So a really, really nice line there for Mr. McHugh. Now, due up for the Indians, it's the heart of the order: Kipnis, Santana, and Brantley. So you're talking about a grown man save for Luke Gregerson, facing the number 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Won't be any pinch hitters for this. Yeah, Brian, I'll let him go 2 games in a row because there's a travel day, theoretically, between games 2 and 3. so they get a day of rest. So in this situation, basically they're going to be able to pitch every game pretty much because they get the day off. So now in the regular season, yeah, 2 games in a row is the most I'll let them go. All right, Jason Kipnis is up. Kipnis 1 for 3. Facing the closer, Gregerson, 110. He's going to ground it back to Gregerson, 1 away. And Cleveland in danger of dropping 2 games. And actually, when you think about it, the Mets actually got a break because they got to play Seattle, even though Seattle is technically the 3rd seed. I think Houston's a better team overall. Just in the demolition league, Seattle won the head-to-head between those two, but I think Cleveland got a tough draw getting Houston, where I think the Mets maybe got a little bit of a break playing Seattle. But we'll see. You gotta beat who you play. Here's Santana. Santana is 0 for 3. He's definitely due. 1-7, and it's a 1-7 single, and he gets that base hit. So Carlos Santana with a single. Now he doesn't run all that well. He runs at a 12. Let's see if there's anybody on the bench that runs better. Aviles, let's see. Aviles runs as a 13, so that's not a whole lot better. Johnson 11, Urshela 11. So we're pretty much stuck with Carlos Santana. I think the only guy that runs better is Almonte. We've already used him. So Santana is at first. He's actually a B stealer. He is Santana. He stole 11 bases, got caught only 3 times. So he's not an automatic no hold. So they're going to have to hold him on, or else he may very well steal the base. They're going to have to hold him on. And Michael Brantley is up. Brantley, with Santana being held at first, so those plus signs come into play. If we get a plus sign, it's going to be a base hit, not a ground out. Gregerson 5-4 against the lefty. That is a catcher X. Catcher in this case is Castro. He's a 2. 2 and an 11 most likely will go to an error check. 2 and 11 does go an error check. Castro's an E1, but he did make a throwing error earlier. That's a 20. Catcher. E1 and a... Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. My bad. So used to rolling the D20. It's D6s, not D20. That's a 4. So catcher, E1 and a 4 is a ground ball C. So the runner's going to advance. It is an out, but the runner's going to advance. So with 2 outs, Santana does get in scoring position. As the only play that Castro had was to go to first. And now Francisco Lindor is up. Lindor, 0 for 3, but he is a really, really good hitter. First base is open, but you got a tough Lonnie Chisenhall on deck. So, Steeler fan, am I intentionally walking Lindor to get to Chisenhall, or am I pitching to Chisenhall? I'm kind of leaning to pitching to Chisenhall and letting the chips fall. I'm sorry, pitching to Lindor, letting the chips fall where they may. But if you want me to walk him intentionally, I will do so. It does put the winning run on base, and you do face another lefty. So I'm thinking we're going to pitch to Lindor here. Pitch to him. Very good. We will. Again, Santana actually will not be held at first, because at second rather, because he runs only as a 12. So I don't want to hold him on because I don't want those plus signs coming into play. I mean, we'll give him a bump on a base hit, but we don't want that. You don't want that cheap base hit to get through on the plus sign. So he's not being held on second. 2 down, bottom of the 9th, 1-0 Houston. Lindor is 0 for 3 against Gregerson, 4-7. And that's a ground ball shortstop A, and there's your ball game. The Astros do it to the Indians again, 1-0. And you could pick your star of the game, whether you think it should be McHugh or think it should be Valbuena. Either one of them are good to go for me. But what's not good to go is Cleveland. They are down 2-0 to the Astros, and there were no trash cans in sight that I'm aware of. This was a solidly pitched ball game, and that just all it took was one long ball, and that's kind of took care of things. Gregerson in the 9th went 1 inning, did give up a hit, but nothing else, and he gets the save. McHugh gets the win, and the tough luck loss goes to Salazar. Allen did go 1 inning for the Indians and give up a hit, nothing else. So I've got Houston for 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. And Cleveland, we have them for no runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Left on base for Houston, 1. They just left 1 on base. That was it, just 1. Because you had a caught stealing on the single. And let's see, did I say 3 hits or 2 hits? Let's see. Actually, Allen didn't give it. So I only had 2 hits. My bad. It was only 2 hits. The only hits in the game for Houston were the home run by Valbuena and the single by Gomez. But Gomez was caught stealing, so the only runner left on base was Valbuena in the second after he walked. So 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. Cleveland, no runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they left on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left on base. So there you have it. 2 games to none lead for the Astros. Next video in the Demolition League will be Game 2 of the Mets and Seattle from New York, where New York leads 1 game to none as DeGrom beat King Felix. Game number 2 will feature the Black Knight, Matt Harvey. He won the Cy Young Award in the Demolition League for his wonderful pitching. And current Met, but at the time, Mariner, Taijuan Walker will be his opposition in game number 2. Taijuan Walker against Matt Harvey. And in game 3, it'll be in Seattle, and it will be the chubby guy for the Mets. That being, of course, Bartolo Colon. And game 3 pitcher for Seattle, it will be undecided right now. It's either going to be, depending on if they're down 2 games to none or not, I think might make that decision. But I think actually, just going by number of starts that they had, it's going to be this guy. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. I think it's Hisaishi Iwakuma, a right-hander, is game 3. If it goes to a game 4, it would be James Paxton for Seattle against Noah Syndergaard for the Mets. So that's the way the line's up here in the future. And again, in case anybody came in late or whatever, 1975 was the winner for the NBC Game of the Week. That will be done on Replay Baseball, and I'll be using Replay PC to sim the rest of the season. And I'm also going to be doing in Payoff Pitch a 2022 New York Yankees full season replay on Payoff Pitch. I'm going to be using Fast Score to do the scores of the other games. I'm going to do a video, one for every game, one for every series. So not all 162 games, but if there's a 3-game series, I'm going to do video for the first game of each series with a new team. And then I'll do the other ones offline. I'm using Digital Diamond to track the stats of the Yankees so I can track how accurate Payoff Pitch is for a full season replay for one team. The other teams, I'm just doing wins and losses using Fast Score. So that's going to be my 2023 plan, my 2 projects for the year once I finish this Demolition League. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Be sure to tune in to RJL tomorrow night for Tigers and Yankees, game 162, last game of the regular season as he gets ready for his playoffs in the 1988 season. And he has been gracious enough to pull 2022 and 1975 from the selection show for his next upcoming Inside Pitch season. So we won't be doing a crossover. So that's going to do it from here. Like I said, Tim, sorry about your Indians. They just couldn't get any offense going. And McHugh was part of it, but Salazar pitched his heart out, but just didn't get any run support. Made one mistake pitch to Luis Valbuena, and that was it. That's all it took. So that's going to do it from here. Next video, like I said, will be probably, it's going to be a recording and upload, not going to be live. Will probably be uploaded on Sunday. Probably play it tomorrow. And that'll be the Mets and the Mariners, game number 2. Mets lead 1 game to none. And it will be Taijuan Walker against Matt Harvey, the Black Knight. So, hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Demolition League. And I appreciate for everyone who voted in the NBC Game League voting. Got 48 votes, which was pretty cool. So, appreciate all you who voted for that. So, we're going to have one older season in the 70s and one current season, 2022, on the channel. So, if you like modern stuff, you have that. If you like the older stuff, you'll have that. And it's also going to be payoff pitch and replay. So I'm kind of stratted out almost, so it won't be any Stratomatic. And RJL's got you covered on the inside pitch, so probably won't be a whole lot of inside pitch there either. Just payoff pitch and replay baseball. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.